The United States of America. Canada. Good neighbors and friendly rivals. Our two countries share the world's largest border between any two nations. The economic and cultural ties between the two countries are vast and complex, as are the petty arguments that we tend to get into.
Baseball. Hockey. Apple pie. Maple syrup. That green American dollar.
Purple money. And toonies.
The is a toonie?
Sure, we like to give each other a hard time, like any two close friends do, but we have a lot more in common than we do differences. For example, when looking at the largest malls in either country, it's apparent that we both have an appetite for a good time. I mean, everyone likes having fun, and each nation's mega mall offers an insane level of shopping, dining, and entertainment options. But which one is better? In the spirit of friendly rivalry, let's compare the USA's largest supermall against Canada's largest supermall. It's the battle of retail and entertainment dominance. The Mall of America versus West Edmonton Mall. Round 1. Location. So, where are these two monsters of retail? Well, the Mall of America is located in Bloomington, Minnesota, in the greater Twin City area of Minneapolis-St. Paul, birthplace of the pop-up toaster.
Here's a gift that would rate a kiss from any woman. A Westinghouse toaster. And isn't it a beauty?
Hosting a local population right around 4 million people, this mall has a pretty sizable consumer base built right in. Plus, it's within a 90-minute flight of Chicago and its population of nearly 10 million. West Edmonton Mall is located in the west end of Edmonton, if you can believe it. Edmonton is the capital city of Alberta, Canada. When compared in size to the Mall of America's hometown, Edmonton's population is pretty small, with the greater region hosting only 1.3 million residents.
In fact, of cities with at least 1 million people, Edmonton, Alberta is the most northern in North America. You could say it's the most northern major city on the entire continent.
Edmonton is a 90-minute flight away from Vancouver. But even if you add Edmonton's populace to that of Vancouver, you're still a few 100,000 people short of the population of greater Minneapolis-St. Paul. Let's take a look at this map of North America lit up at night. Beautiful, yes, but it also portrays the major population centers very well. And as you can plainly see, the lights don't lie. When it comes to location, the Mall of America is far better placed for its purpose. And that's not to say that the people of Canada, particularly Western Canada, aren't happy that West Edmonton Mall exists where it does.
It's a pretty popular tourist destination, attracting more than 30 million visitors each year.
But the opening round of this battle is about location.
And when it comes to being a mega mall, it's apparent. There's a clear benefit to being around more people.
This round's winner, the Mall of America. Round 2, who came first? When it comes to who came first between the two, the answer is pretty straightforward. West Edmonton Mall first opened its doors in August of 1981, which makes the shopping center 38 years old this year.
And the Mall of America opened its doors nearly 11 years later to the day, in August of 1992. West Edmonton Mall expanded rapidly after its initial opening, with its Phase 2 expansion coming just 2 years after it first opened. And only 2 years later, it expanded again, with its Phase 3 expansion, this time more than doubling the size of the mall.
This rapid expansion contrasts that of the Mall of America, whose single phase had stood untouched for decades. Though it eventually did undergo its own expansion, adding more retail space as well as a new hotel to the property. But I digress. When it comes to who came first, West Edmonton Mall is the winner. And all of this brings us to our next round. Round 3. Who's the biggest? At the time of this video, the Mall of America is the largest mall in the United States. Now, this is a contested title, mainly contested by the King of Prussia Mall in Pennsylvania, who would like to claim the title based on the reasoning that it has more leasable area.
Right, because let's just ignore all of this.
I mean, you can skew any fact if you define it differently. After all, this empty mall in Calgary, Alberta, has described itself in the past as Canada's second largest mall. Spoiler alert, it's not. But when it comes down to it, the Mall of America is larger than any other mall in the United States. No other mall today even comes close. Well, no other mall in the United States anyway. North of the border, West Edmonton Mall also blows any of its in-country competition out of the water. It is more than double the size of any other mall in Canada. And if you look at every ranking or list of North America's largest malls, West Edmonton Mall always sits on top.
While the Mall of America might rule over any competitors in the United States, in this head-to-head competition, the king in the north reigns supreme.
Well, when it comes to leasable area anyway. You see, all those rankings that put West Edmonton Mall on top, they also rely strictly on leasable area. When it comes down to technical size, it does appear that Mall of America is in fact slightly larger than West Edmonton Mall. Despite West Edmonton Mall having more stores, more leasable area, a larger amusement park, and a water park, Mall of America is still technically larger. With its claim size of 5.6 million square feet, it is a little larger than West Edmonton Mall's 5.3 million square feet. So, in a decision that shocks me as much as it might shock you, I suppose this round has to go to the Mall of America. What? Round 4. Shopping. Both locations are way beyond what you'd expect to see in a shopping mall. Each have their own set of attractions, dining experiences, and things to do. But, of course, a mall wouldn't be a mall without shopping. West Edmonton Mall has a total leasable area of around 3.8 million square feet. Mall of America's retail space is just shy of 2.9 million square feet. That makes its retail offering just slightly over 75% the size of West Edmonton Mall's retail space, which is still a huge variety of stores. 555 stores to be more precise. But West Edmonton Mall boasts more than 800 retail locations. Does more necessarily mean better? I mean, West Edmonton Mall's offering of stores is impressive, but what about exclusivity? The Mall of America does have some options which aren't available in West Edmonton Mall. And at the same time, there are also stores you might find in West Edmonton Mall and not see in the Mall of America, like West Edmonton Mall's Louis Vuitton store. So yes, technically speaking, West Edmonton Mall has more retail space and more stores, so it would certainly win this round in the technicality department. However, I'd say this category is too close to call. It's just too darn subjective. Essentially, it comes down to preference. There are too many different outlooks and attitudes on what good shopping is.
So, if you're at the point where over 500 stores isn't going to satisfy the shopper in you, it's not like a few hundred more are going to make a difference.
We've already awarded a point for size, and this category really isn't about size, but rather shopping. And both malls offer a ridiculous variety of stores, from the niche, to the fun, to the luxurious. So, we're going to go ahead and call this round a draw. Round 5. Layout. When West Edmonton Mall completed its Phase 3 expansion in 1986, it offered a groundbreaking experience.
West Edmonton Mall is the world's largest and most complete fashion and recreation center. At a total cost of $1.1 billion, the mall is the most ambitious shopping center project ever conceived.
It was the first mega mall of its kind. The sheer magnitude of a mall of this size was unheard of, and it made waves around the world. But this is where being built second might have benefited the Mall of America, at least in this category.
Tomorrow, when the Mall of America opens, there are going to be 270 stores to look through. But if that weren't enough, there are going to be 400 of them when this is all said and done and completed.
If you look at the footprint of West Edmonton Mall with the right perspective, you can almost see each expansion phase laid out one after another. And there's no doubt, this place is huge. And so is the Mall of America, but its footprint seems a little smaller.
And that's because the huge size of the mall is built upward on over 4 different stories.
This layout is quite different than West Edmonton Mall, which is largely laid out on only 2 floors. And with it being significantly larger than Mall of America, this means it's going to be a lot more spread out. And this results in a lot more walking to get from one end of the mall to the other, and to get from store to store, or from attraction to attraction. It's likely there were some lessons learned from West Edmonton Mall when the Mall of America was planned, as its layout is quite smart, yet quite simple. Its main attraction, Nickelodeon Universe, is right in the middle of the mall, with pretty much every store in the mall roughly the same distance from it. For the Mall of America, the result is that every store is pretty much enjoying a similar amount of foot traffic. And as a shopper, going from one store to another is a lot easier, and a lot faster. So, when it comes to layout, we've got to give this round to the Mall of America. Round 6, Attractions. This category is one which also may be a little difficult to analyze from an objective point of view. Everyone has their favorite rides, and saying that one is better than the other just because you like it, well, that isn't the most unbiased way to compare. Keeping in mind that we all have our own opinions, let's break this down attraction by attraction. Attraction number 1, amusement park.
The single biggest attraction in Mall of America is located smack dab in the middle of the mall, and it's known as Nickelodeon Universe.
At 7 acres in size, with over 27 rides and attractions, and all of this located indoors under one roof, it is a sight to behold. Given the name, it's apparent that this theme park is branded with characters from the world of Nickelodeon: SpongeBob SquarePants, Dora the Explorer, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and far too many more for me to mention. But Nickelodeon Universe's impressive indoor offering isn't the only enclosed amusement park that'll wow you. West Edmonton Mall's Galaxyland, formerly known as Fantasyland, has been in operation since the mid-1980s. It has an unlicensed space theme, which means, outside of the park, you probably wouldn't recognize its mascot, Cosmo. Galaxyland is bigger than Nickelodeon Universe, at 9 acres in size. But at the same time, its number of rides and attractions are listed at only 26, one less than that of its rival. The larger footprint to fewer ride ratio can be largely attributed to this.
The Mindbender, the world's largest indoor triple loop roller coaster.
With speeds of 60 miles per hour and with forces over 5 Gs, the coasters in Nickelodeon Universe might come close, but they don't match the intensity of the Mindbender, whose footprint takes up a huge chunk of the park. It is undoubtedly the most extreme ride in either of the parks. So, Galaxyland has the Mindbender, but what about everything else? One thing that stuck out to me when visiting both parks is just how similar many of the rides are. The Orange Crush coaster and the Auto Sled, while branded in style differently, are very similar, and they are both made by the same coaster manufacturer. The same goes for the Fairly Odd coaster and the Galaxy Orbiter. Both spinning orbital coasters were the first coasters of their kind in each of their respective countries.
Both parks have carousels, and both parks have train rides, but the similarities go on.
Quirks in the Works and Ghost Blasters, Cosmos Space Derby and Crazy Cars, Zero Gravity and Brain Surge, which are both fun as heck I might add, the Swing of the Century and the Backyardigans Swing Along, even Rope's Quest and Dutchman's Deck, though Dutchman's Deck Adventure Course is a separate pay attraction. However, it is bigger and offers more to do, and it features a record-setting attraction within itself, the longest indoor zipline in all of North America. Other similarities include the Splatosphere and the Space Shot, and even decommissioned rides like Galaxyland's Orbitron and Jimmy Neutron's Atomic Collider. Well, it looks like they both have a pretty darn good selection of great rides. And with so many similarities between these two parks, choosing a winner is going to come down to their differences. As mentioned, the most extreme ride in either of the two parks is the Mindbender, offering more G-force, a taller drop, and more vertical loops. But Mall of America's biggest and most extreme coaster isn't tame by any stretch. It has 4.4 Gs of force and features a pretty insane drop of its own. These two coasters are similar enough that it's difficult to choose a clear winner.
Except that I have, and it's the Mindbender.
But objectively, each park's large roller coaster is just one of those things where different people are going to have their own preferences. The single biggest and most noticeable difference between these parks is the atmosphere.
The thing I noticed about Nickelodeon Universe was, at least when compared to Galaxyland, it was a lot brighter.
Nearly the entire park is situated under a glass ceiling. And it's not like Galaxyland is all that dark, it has skylights. But a good portion of the roof isn't glass. And simply put, that means less natural light.
And I have to admit, I really like the bright feeling in here.
Sunlight naturally makes people feel happier and more energetic. And that goes perfectly when you're in an amusement park. I'd also argue that the licensing deal with Nickelodeon attributes to the brighter feel as well. Each ride being directly tied to a colorful cartoon character adds to the vibrant, bright feeling of the park. When it all comes down to it, the amusement park contest is almost too close to call. So close, in fact, that the slightly brighter, shinier atmosphere of Nickelodeon Universe might tip the scales in this competition, even if my favorite ride does exist in Galaxyland. In what may or may not be a controversial decision, I'm going to give the nod to Nickelodeon Universe. But, in my eyes, it only wins by a small margin. It's not like you wouldn't enjoy yourself in either park.
But if Galaxyland were to ever update its look and theme, I think it would tip the scales back in its favor. Just saying.
Attraction number 2, Mini Golf. The amusement park is only the first of each mall's collection of attractions. There are others to consider. For one, there's mini golf. Both malls feature 36 holes of miniature golf on 2 separate courses. Each mall has a traditional, albeit themed style course, and a glow-in-the-dark course. The glow course at West Edmonton Mall is called Dragon's Tail. It features a storyline where the villagers have stolen the dragon's eggs, and you must putt your way through the course, and the fewer putts you use, the more eggs will be returned to the dragons. It's just for fun though, there's no real reward for playing well, other than bragging rights. The course is quite well done. The decor, art, and statues are very well polished. As mentioned, the course features a mystical theme with fantasy creatures, big and small. There are a few holes which use contraptions to lift the ball up and drop it into a Plinko-style chute. And the final hole rewards those who can properly sing a ball with illuminated dragon eyes and a powerful roar. The Mall of America's Glow Mini Golf offering is musically themed, Rock of Ages. It is just as polished as West Edmonton Mall's version. Its colorful, vibrant decor really appeals to me. I love that retro music culture, and you get to travel from the rock and roll of the 1950s through to the most popular genres of today. As far as glow-in-the-dark mini golf goes, really, this one is a draw. Both courses offer an immersive and enjoyable experience. Elsewhere in Mall of America, you'll find Moose Mountain Adventure Golf.
And of all the different mini golf courses we talk about in this video, this one probably has my favorite theme.
I really like the mountainous decor and the rustic look and feel of this course. It's just superb the way they blended the campiness with the actual course. Plus, overlooking the amusement park definitely adds to the fun atmosphere. But my biggest issue with all the courses mentioned thus far, and this is my typical gripe of mini golf in general, is just how flat they are. The decor and themes are fantastic, but there's a lack of rolling hills or banks, like the kind you'd see on, an actual putting green. But this is also where West Edmonton Mall and Professor Wem's Adventure Golf sets itself apart.
This course was actually modeled after the famous Pebble Beach golf course in California. In fact, for the first few years of its life, it was called Pebble Beach Mini Golf.
As far as the gameplay goes, this is actually one of the best mini golf courses I've played.
All right, I got one, we got it.
Real water hazards, bunkers, rolling greens with natural slopes and banking curves, all complementing the cartoony theme of Professor Wem, the whimsical professor whose wacky contraptions decorate the course from hole to hole. But from a gameplay standpoint, this really is a fantastic course. So, in the battle of mini golf supremacy, while Mall of America might have my favorite theme, there's no denying that the best gameplay is at Professor Wem's Adventure Golf, which means the mini golf prize goes to West Edmonton Mall. Attraction 3, Sea Life. Both the Mall of America and West Edmonton Mall offer visitors the opportunity to get up close and personal with creatures from the deep. Edmonton's deep sea caverns showcase over 100 species of fish, reptiles, turtles, sharks, and even penguins. But the main feature has got to be Sea Lions Rock. Set adjacent to the world's largest indoor lake, the Sea Lion Show program connects visitors with 4 different sea lions in an entertaining and informative production. There's even the opportunity to experience their Trainer for a Day program, where you'll join the marine life team in feeding, caring for, and training the animals. And you even get the unique experience of swimming with the sea lions. Further south in Minnesota, you'll find Sea Life at Mall of America. Approaching the attraction from the mall concourse, the first thing you'll see are ponds filled with rays. However, upon entry, the experience begins with an adventure through the rainforest. The best way to describe this area is atmospheric. Get right up close with piranhas, poison dart frogs, crocodiles, and even stand inside a large dome.
Look at the size of that dome.
So you can surround yourself with cockroaches. Ugh. After traveling through the rainforest, you'll eventually get the opportunity to get a close look at seahorses, jellyfish, the rays mentioned earlier, and a lot more. But the main attraction here is the impressive and super cool 300-foot underwater tunnel. You'll literally surround yourself with ocean life, feeling close enough to almost touch the fish, rays, turtles, and sharks that swim around you. The two experiences are quite different, and though Mall of America's feels larger, the Sea Lion Show is certainly a fun and unique experience. Still, if I'm being honest, I was blown away by that huge underwater tunnel at Mall of America. So, I guess I'll give them the edge in this comparison. Attraction number 4, the rest. The attractions we've mentioned thus far are only a small segment of what is available at either mall. Each location has a lot more to offer: bowling, go-karts, arcades, and other standalone attractions, like Mall of America's Flying Over America. Those who have visited Disney's California Adventure theme park may find this ride very familiar. It's the same type as Disney's Soarin' Over California, also known as Soarin' Over the World. And the installation here at Mall of America is just as fun. I can't explain what it is about this ride I like so much. I find it quite relaxing and tranquil. And while I was there, it was funny that they were showing a dual feature: Flying Over America and Flying Over Canada. I thought that was pretty fitting. But I digress. Each mall features a plethora of things to do. They both offer a very cool mirror maze. I'll tell you a little hint. The fun in these isn't trying to solve them as quickly as you can, but rather getting lost inside and hiding from or searching for your friends. Throughout either mall, whether it's an alien escape room, a mega arcade, or a full-day Crayola experience, there's just so much to do. You'll never get bored. Having said that, there is a major attraction at West Edmonton Mall that I think we can all agree needs to be a consideration when it comes to deciding which mall has the best attractions. And no, I'm not talking about the NHL-sized skating rink. No, I'm talking about North America's largest indoor water park, the World Water Park. At 5 acres in size, the World Water Park features the Blue Thunder Wave Pool, itself spread out over a full acre. And let's not forget the 17 water slides on a tower that's over 7 stories high. The World Water Park also features a large splash park, dancing fountains, a non-stop wave for surfing, and a zip line. They even offer surfing lessons in that huge wave pool after hours. So while both malls are pretty much neck and neck when it comes to their other attractions, it's the World Water Park which makes us award the overall best attractions to West Edmonton Mall. Round 7. Dining. All that shopping, walking, riding, and surfing will definitely make you work up an appetite. Both shopping centers offer a plethora of options when it comes to dining. And I'm not talking about the food courts here. At the Mall of America, you'll find many restaurants at its South Street dining district. And at West Edmonton Mall, you'll find the most at Bourbon Street. Both streets feature a varied and satisfying array of dining choices. There's not a whole lot here that sets each collection of dining options apart from the other. Once again, it's really about personal taste. I mean, both malls have a Bubba Gump shrimp if that's your thing. At the Mall of America, you might try a bite at one of the menu options, including the Rainforest Cafe, Margaritaville, or the Hard Rock. The Hard Rock Cafe, which no longer exists at West Edmonton Mall. The other used to be there but is no longer that stands out to me, on a personal level, is Johnny Rockets. I loved that place. You'll find it at the Mall of America, but it departed West Edmonton Mall a long time ago. Nonetheless, West Edmonton Mall offers a wide variety of dining favorites. The Old Spaghetti Factory, Earl's, and Tony Roma's, among other great options. Just like the shopping decision, this one all comes down to taste and preference. And if you can't find something to eat at one of the over 90 different dining options which exist at Mall of America, or at the over 90 different dining options which exist at West Edmonton Mall, well, I don't know what to tell you. This round is definitely a draw. Round 8. Parking. Seriously, we're going to talk about parking now? We got to be getting close to the end here, huh? The Mall of America has space for over 12,000 vehicles. That's huge! Not only that, but they have the assistance of real-time information about where to park. Technology-assisted parking lot maps and signs show you exactly how many spots are available in each lot. It's a crazy helpful system. But all that technology won't help you if the lots are full, which, if it does happen, will happen at Mall of America before it happens at West Edmonton Mall. West Edmonton Mall, which holds the world record for the world's largest parking lot,
with room for over 20,000 vehicles.
When it comes to parking, even with the super impressive and convenient system that exists at Mall of America, it all boils down to capacity. And it's hard to contend with the world's largest. This round's winner, West Edmonton Mall. Round 9. Environment. When walking around the Mall of America, you'll be blown away by its sheer size. There is so much to see, and as mentioned earlier, it really has an efficient layout. But that efficient layout actually cost the mall a little bit in this category. West Edmonton Mall was built at a time when it really didn't have a roadmap to follow. It was the first supermall attraction of its kind. And when it was built, it dedicated a lot of its space to, well, niceties. Niceties like animal exhibits and informational displays, fountains, and whimsical oddities like their ball machines. And while today many of these smaller attractions are gone, the original effort put forth in making West Edmonton Mall a spectacle is still apparent in the center today. The Mall of America is no slouch. It's absolutely impressive, and arguably on the whole, more well-polished in its uniform look and feel throughout the mall. And there are some awesome decor touches which will make you stop and take notice.
And while the Mall of America will impress you with its sheer size, it's just hard to top something as nice as all this.
Just look at this area of West Edmonton Mall. This is the world's largest indoor lake, and right in the middle, a scale replica of the Santa Maria. The mall also has an area which is themed to look like a European street. And back in the day, it had an area which was themed like Louisiana. It's these themes and niceties, both current and former, which makes us award this category to West Edmonton Mall. At the end of the competition, our scorecard indicates a winner. West Edmonton Mall. But before you start commenting about everything we got wrong in this battle, I think it's quite clear. Both malls are pretty much equal when it all comes down to it. Aside from the biggest difference between the two, the World Water Park, this competition has proven to be one of technicalities.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Both malls offer boatloads of shopping, dining, and entertainment. It's no wonder that there are hotels on site at each. In Canada, the Fantasyland Hotel offers unique and fun theme rooms. And the Mall of America has not one, but 2 different hotels right on site. There is so much involved when comparing these 2 mega malls that it simply boils down to personal preference and convenience. It's not like you'll be canceling your vacation to the Mall of America because West Edmonton Mall happens to have a bigger parking lot. Now on the other hand, if you haven't noticed by the name of my channel, I'm from Edmonton. I have one of these super malls in my own backyard. But I flew out to Minnesota just to see what it was like. And I'll probably be going again. Finally, all this comparison and competition is kind of moot. The changes that these and other malls see over time means that no single mall will stay the same for long. The Mall of America is even slated to be adding its own huge water park to its roster of attractions. At a cost of $250 million, it'll be one of North America's largest water parks. And at 250,000 square feet, it'll rival that of West Edmonton Mall. And then we'd have to have this competition all over again. And the United States is going to be seeing other mega malls in the future, with American Dream Meadowlands in New Jersey opening sometime later this year. There's even plans for an American Dream Miami, and that is slated to dethrone West Edmonton Mall as North America's largest shopping and entertainment center. Even in this age of retail challenges, there is a formula that's still working, and it's working well. Gone are the days when a mall could exist by just being a mall. The mega shopping and entertainment model that originated with West Edmonton Mall and was further refined by Mall of America is obviously still going strong. So, the next time you're considering a trip to an amusement park, or a day at the beach, or even some high-end shopping, why not just do it all? In one of our continent's biggest attractions, the mega malls of North America. This video took an amazing amount of time and resources, but I couldn't have done it without help. Special thanks to Kat, who helped me in Minnesota, and to Grace and Vern, who helped me in Edmonton. Check out their social media channels linked in the description below. So, which of North America's mega malls are your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, give us a like and a share, and maybe even visit our Patreon page. And why not check out one of our other videos? Mostly about the greatest indoor show on earth, West Edmonton Mall. Oh, and thanks for watching.